They say love is the greatest force on earth. But what happens when love asks for more than you're willing to give? What happens when love becomes a crossroad between purpose and passion? This is the story of Eliana. She wasn't born with much, just a worn-out keyboard and a dream. From the age of 8, she discovered something magical. When her fingers touched the keys, the world went silent. It was in the music she found peace, expression, and identity. She played through heartbreak, through hunger, through loneliness. Her father left before she turned 10. Her mother worked multiple jobs just to keep food on the table. But Eliana, she dreamed. She'd heard of Juilliard, this sacred land for musical prodigies, and made it her mission. She practiced in the dark. She studied on borrowed data. She performed at weddings, talent shows, and church services, anywhere there was a piano. By 22, her name started to buzz in small musical circles. She had raw brilliance, and when the Juilliard audition email finally arrived, she cried for hours because it was a dream come true. Prior to the arrival of the mail, she met Jason, charming, with a warm smile and piercing eyes that seemed to sparkle with curiosity. His dark hair was neatly trimmed, and his fitted shirt showcased his athletic build. He had an effortless confidence that made him irresistible. He was different, bold, smooth-talking. He didn't care about music, but he cared about her. They met at an open mic. He was there for a friend's performance. She was behind the piano. Afterward, he walked straight up to her and said, "You don't just play music, you are music." He made her laugh. He made her feel seen. For the first time, Eliana let her guard down. What started as coffee dates turned into weekend getaways. Late night talks became early morning kisses. He was her escape. And just like that, she was in love. Then came the letter. Juilliard. Full ride. Fall semester. She screamed, cried, and ran into Jason's arms. But his face didn't mirror her joy. He hesitated. "I just got an offer," he said. "A startup gig in Arizona. They want me to move immediately. I was hoping you'd come with me." Eliana froze. "Arizona? But Juilliard is in New York." "I know," he said gently. "But baby, this could be our future. We can build together. You don't need some fancy school, you've already made it." Her heart pounded. Was this love? Was this what sacrifice looked like? He kissed her forehead. "We'll make new dreams together." So she made the choice. Eliana declined Juilliard, told herself there would be other chances. She moved with him, started over, gave love everything she had. But life wasn't a fairy tale. The startup folded within a year. Bills piled up. Tension grew. Jason changed. The man who once celebrated her music now told her, "Maybe it's time you let that childish dream go." She took a job waiting tables, another cleaning offices. Her keyboard sat in a dusty corner. Months turned into years. The light in her eyes dimmed. And then, she found out she was pregnant. She expected celebration. Instead, Jason sighed. He started disappearing for days. The relationship unraveled thread by thread. But Eliana stayed strong. She gave birth to a baby girl, Amanda. And in Amanda's eyes, she found music again. Lullabies became her compositions. Nap times became moments to dream again. She started teaching kids in her neighborhood how to play. At the community center, she rediscovered her voice. And Amanda? She watched, listened, learned. At age 10, Amanda was already playing like a prodigy. At 14, she composed her first piece. At 16, she applied to Juilliard. Eliana wept the day that acceptance letter came in. This time, it wasn't addressed to her, but her fingerprints were all over it. And as Amanda packed her bags for New York, Eliana smiled deeply. Because sometimes the seed you plant grows in someone else. Was it worth it? She still wondered. What if she had chosen differently? What if she had walked into Juilliard and never looked back? But life isn't just about your own success. Sometimes it's about legacy. It's about lighting the torch so the next generation can run further than you ever did. So yes, she gave up her dream for love. And while love failed her, motherhood fulfilled her. She may have walked away from Juilliard, but she walked into purpose. Because sometimes your greatest dream is not the one you chase, but the one you raise. To anyone who's ever sacrificed for love, or lost their way chasing someone else's promise, your story isn't over. Maybe your dream shifted, maybe it evolved, but it's never too late to find meaning. And sometimes what looks like the end is just the beginning of something deeper. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more unforgettable stories from Harmony and Hurdle's Tales. Got a story idea or a real-life moment that needs to be told? Drop it in the comments, because every quiet hero deserves to be heard.